thank you for inviting me. Happy to be here. That's such a great performance, isn't it? All right, so what an entrance for me. So I'm lucky to get this spot. Okay, all right. So when John reached out to me and asked me to, hey, Microsoft, are you interested to do this presentation? There is something popped in my mind that I really do want to talk to you. So, and here you go, Microsoft transformation of its own. And I promise you, this is not about IT strategy, okay? So I know this group is business student, and so it's only appropriate if I start off my presentation with the business context of what I'm going to tell you. All right, the world has changed, okay? I'll ask you if you guess how many of the Fortune 500 companies in the class of 1955 still exist today listed. What would be your guess? Yeah? 5%? Well, you're really pessimistic. Okay. Answer is 89% are gone. 11% of them still there. Okay. The average life expectancy of the Fortune 500 50 years ago, the average life expectancy was 75 years. Now the life expectancy is only 15 years and declining further. Okay, so what does that tell you? That tells you that the world is changing in a much faster pace than before. Okay, company comes and go, it's just normal. But the life expectancy is getting shorter and shorter. All right, okay. And when we talk about the disruptive forces in society worldwide, okay, now we talk about the revolution, industrial revolution, and people are saying there is a fourth wave of revolution happening today. What were the three before? The first one was from the manpower, horsepower to steam engine. That was the first one, okay, very visible. Second one, a little bit more invisible, from steam engine to electricity to light bulb to telegraph, that changes how people communicate. Because we have the steam engine, now we have electricity to power the steam engine. And it's going further with electricity, the third revolution, industrial revolution. People used to talk about a lot about digital, computer, internet. That enables the fourth industrial revolution, which is what people are thinking, hey, we are changing the society more and more, the revolution from the visible side to the invisible side. Yes, computer exists prevalently today in every of our own hands already. But with clouds, the computing resources is not something that you see. That enables a lot of new scenarios, IoT devices, sensors, creating data, that's the big data. With all this data, we have the computing power to do analytics, and that's the intelligence part. So it's getting faster and faster changes because all these different waves of revolution enables the next one to come along. And here we are in the middle of the fourth one. All right, now, this is the world we are living in today together, and how Microsoft is doing. In recent years, at least the press think that we are doing pretty well. The mojo is back, the innovation, the cool factor is back, at least according to the press. Now, but that's not what I want to tell you about. I'm not bragging our own success here. What I want to tell you is, well, number one is, at least this is what I checked 2 days ago, is still true, that our stock price is all-time high, all-time high. At least the market think we're doing well, but this is the stock price in the history of Microsoft, okay? I joined the company around 20 years ago, if you look at my gray hair, in the late 1990s. It was at the peak of Microsoft. Literally, the day that I signed the joint contract right off college, okay, so this is my first job and the only job that I have with Microsoft all my career, okay? What was in the news was an antitrust lawsuit against Microsoft, and you see the stock price, boom, go down. Okay, that's not the worst. And the upcoming 10 years, our stock price remains stagnant for 10 years. In those 10 years, the revenue of Microsoft increased around threefold. Profit increased around threefold. PE ratio dropped around 3 times. Okay, our stock price doesn't change at all. Okay, so we struggle for more than 10 years. Why we are doing so well financially, operationally, we are hitting the dots in the market. Why people don't resonate and share our dream. Okay, and that's the part of change, the transformation of Microsoft that I do want to talk to you about today. How are we approaching the change? Now, around 3 years ago, we have a new CEO, the third generation of the third CEO of Microsoft. In our history, we are a 40 years old art company, third CEO, okay? This is the literal sentence that he said in one of the recent interview that is published in the magazine Boss, okay? Now, it's quite a lengthy read, but what I want to talk about is, it's really interesting how Satya communicates and think about Microsoft. Number one is, I would say he is a poet, okay? For the longest time, we were trying to communicate our company vision with the market, but weren't quite successful, I would say, because our stock price doesn't move. And then Satya put it very simple word, 4 words, cloud first, mobile first. And the market seems somehow they understand what that means, cloud first, mobile first. And also said he's a very great philosopher because the way that he thinks about the business is very different from everybody that I have met and talked to and experienced before in my life. Take a look at this quote as an example. Okay, number one is, he acknowledged that longevity is not even something the IT industry is going after. Okay, it's all about whether you are relevant or not, whether you have impact or not. It is feeling good about where we are, but he said it's all temporal. It's temporary. All I'm focused on is whether we are staying true to our sense of purpose. Sense of purpose. The first question that Satya asked very publicly in his communication as a CEO when he came on board is that it's not about how we increase our stock price, how we increase profit for our shareholders. These are all important questions. But the fundamental question that Satya asked to himself and to the company is, what if Microsoft ceased to exist on Earth? How this world is going to change? Who on earth does a CEO ask this kind of question? He's not asking, what can I do? How much money can I make? He's saying, if I disappear, whether this world will change a bit. And here is the mission statement that we put together. Okay, our mission statement said, we want to empower every person and every organization to, on the planet, by the way, on the planet is a very bold goal, to do more and achieve more. Okay, the first word, empower. Okay, he's saying, hey, in the history of Microsoft, we are all about empowerment, to enable people to create things, to lend their ideas, to do things more effectively, to put the big server computer, mainframe computing power into the hands on PC, in people's hands, on every home, on every desktop. Empower is not a catchy word. It's not something that resonates with most people. But nonetheless, that's what Microsoft is about. So he said, instead of big words like, I don't know, freedom, unleash your creativity or something that is more catchy, that's more resonating, he's saying, empower people to do more and achieve more. That's our mission. Okay? And here is the main message that I do want to talk to you about. Yes, Microsoft is living in a world that is changing really fast. We, after 10 years of stagnant stock price, we need to change also. In this transformation, in this change, the goal, the objective is bold. But when we ask who we truly are, what Microsoft truly stands for, that's what we want to go after, is to empower everybody on the planet to do more and achieve more. But to do that, it's not easy. It's difficult. It's very difficult. And he said it's not about execution. Okay, it's not about strategy either. It's all about culture. Culture eats strategy alive. That's what Satya said. Culture eat strategy alive. So in order to land our bold ambition and all this, okay, we must also evolve our culture. Okay, so let's take a look, because a lot of the things that you may think Microsoft must be thinking along that line, actually that's not really true. That's not really true. And we tend to think about things a little bit differently, and let me tell you what that is. Okay, number one, leadership principles. There are 3 pillars, okay? One pillar that you would expect is, hey, deliver success, okay? It doesn't matter how good your leadership is if you do not make your number, if you are not delivering the business performance result, it's not good, okay? So deliver success, given, okay? But that doesn't come first. It's not about just the stock price, it's not just about revenue and profit, it's not just about that. Clarity and energy comes first. Why? Because in the midst of the changes, the disruptive technology, and the role that Microsoft plays in, we need clarity. For the longest time, Microsoft profit tied to the PC shipment. Okay, if there's more PC shipping, there's more Windows. With more Windows, there's more Office. That works for many years. But now the world has changed. The world really has changed. It's IoT, it's cloud, it's mobile, it's not just PC. How do we shift ourselves to play a role, the relevancy in this market? Clarity is one thing, okay? How the different pieces of the organization, the daily work and task, and the role that we play in and contribute to the company, it needs alignment. That's the clarity. Second one, energy. Energy is very important because nobody knows it all, and I'll elaborate on this one. We will face challenges, we will face setback. Without the energy to change our course, without the fundamental interest to look into why something works and why something doesn't work, and have the energy and ambition and all the drive to make the changes, nobody will get to the final destination, because we need to constantly change course, adjust course to get to where we need to be in the fastest and shortest way. That's the leadership principle that we put forth. And at Microsoft, we talked a lot about growth mindset. So I will stay on this slide for a little bit and talk to you about what do we mean by the leadership principle and the growth mindset, and how that's impacting how we do business. Okay? Now, number one, because this comes to my pitch to echo back when John talked to me about the global business program and why I have something I talk to you, because in John's description and the impression that I get is the global business program is a really cool program. It has international exposure, and all of you are high performers, overachievers in your life. That's granted, okay? And when John described this program and the profile of his students and associates, I said, hey, Microsoft has been successful ourselves too. But in the course of getting better to fit ourselves in this transformation, what is the culture and the principle that we stick to, that adhere to, and that's something I want to talk to you. All right? So, number one is knower, genius oriented to learners, always improving. Now, smart people tends to behave intelligently, of course, right? When I say something, it must be insightful. I know it, okay? I'm smart. That's what success people look like, okay? But we also need to realize, because of the world is changing, in this course, we need to keep adjusting, fine-tuning our path. So we do not know everything. It's not just because we are not smart, we're all smart people, but smarters also need to pair up with the wisdom. You need to know when you know something and when you don't know something. When is your performing zone and when you are in your learning zone, okay? And that's why we also emphasize learners always improving. Second one, fixed mindset, focus on own success, okay? Smartness, the word smart, a lot of time associated with the concept fixed mindset, meaning, hey, because I'm smart, right? So I must be successful. So I need to appear to be successful in front of you, in front of my colleagues, in my daily work, in front of my boss in particular, because I'm smart. Microsoft do not tolerate failure. I'm smart, so I deserve the promotion, right? But if we only focus on our own success and do not embrace, challenge, value success of others, okay? Let me ask you this very logical question. In order to be successful and you know what to do and to deliver the expected result, you have to stay in your comfort zone, right? You would not do something that you have never done before, because once you do that, you may not be successful because you have never done it. But at Microsoft, if we are still only talking about the PC business, no cloud, no intelligence, no artificial intelligence, no holographic vision, do you think we can bring ourselves to the next level? Absolutely not. We will just be thinking, hey, how do I improve in the market, in the segment that we have perfected in or really excelled in? Okay, so that's the embrace challenges part. Third one, kind of echo the same principle. If you have, from before, right, you have the fixed mindset, you don't want to take risk because I don't want to fail. It looks bad if I fail. And that's why we emphasize a lot of celebrate risk. And failure needs to master. Of course, we do not just celebrate failure. Okay, nobody wants to fail. But if you fail, first of all, at least you fail fast. Okay, if you run a marketing program with all the KPI tracking intelligence that you know, if it doesn't work in a month or two, or it depends on the type of the program, hey, change it. Don't insist that because I'm smart, I have this grand vision, wait longer, it will come. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Fail fast, learn from it, fix it, and try again. All right? Last one is feedback. If you want to be smart, you don't want to appear vulnerable. That's why I don't like feedback, because feedback could be praises or it could be constructive feedback telling me what to improve, how you could do better. It sucks, okay? Because that said, I'm not perfect, okay? Stay on track, because hey, that's my grand vision. I need to stay on track diligently. This is the way that we are marching forward. But no. You need to give and get feedback all the time. Self-reflection, iteration is the king. Iteration. I know where I want to go to. That's very clear. That's the clarity part. But I also need to change course. That's the energy part to get to my success part of my destination. And that's the iteration that matters. Okay? How do we put this at work? For example, right? If you have this mindset, when Satya think about, hey, as a CEO, right? You would say, hey, logically, when it comes on board, the first question is how to make Microsoft more profitable, win more market share, do well in the stock market, in our business performance and whatnot, right? But no, that's not the question he asked. It doesn't mean that's not something he's not interested in. He's deeply interested in that. But that doesn't come first. What comes first is, hey, how do we make ourselves relevant? What is different about Microsoft? What is our unique value proposition in the market? If you get that, you hear the feedback, you tune your strategy, and you have the right company culture, success will come along. If you fail to identify your strength and just think about that's the destiny, that's my success, I want to earn whatever figure, that's my first job, that's the type of company, okay? That's fixed mindset because you set your goal and you only march towards your goal with a fixed path. But no. How am I unique? What am I interested in, and what is the biggest value I can provide to this company, to this team, to my boss and your colleagues? That's what makes you successful. That brings you to the next level. So the final quote, two quotes that I want to leave you with. The first one is from Bill Gates. He once said, success, especially huge success, is a lousy teacher, because that makes you feel you will never be failed. Okay? So we all learn along the way. Second quote I want to leave with you is, that actually is a tagline for our HoloLens, our holographic vision, but it applies so well in life also, which is, okay, if you change the way you see the world, you change the world you see. A lot of time your success, your performance, your career really is in your head, how you perceive the world, how you perceive your colleagues and your work environment and the surroundings. You are all smart, high performer, overachiever in life, and I wish you all the success in your upcoming studies and career. Thank you.